this just in. Our friend and colleague on YouTube, Lord Dictor Van Doomcock, just put another video out, and I went and checked a few of the sources that he mentioned. Pirates and Princesses, which is a pretty good source, etc., etc. And I'm going to come up with my feelings on what he was talking about. First off, if you go on to Pirates and Princesses and you see, I think it's an article from the 17th, so it's one that I missed, which I wish I hadn't. WDW Pro. First off, hey Dave, these Twitter mobsters are now, from Lucasfilm, are now putting disclaimers on their Twitter accounts. This account isn't the company's opinion. This is only my blah blah. You know, the same stupid thing. I gotta concentrate on that for a little while. Because now the rumor is we're not going to get a new Mandalorian till 2023, and we don't know what we're going to do with that. Rangers of the New Republic. I'm going to say, hey, Sen Dave, I'm going to say this. We're going to have Gina Carano back. I'm making that prediction right now. Cara Dune is going to be back. And the reason is this. If you look at the poll numbers that Doomcock posted, they can be found anywhere. It's very obvious that people aren't happy with what they did. And people are mad at Disney. Disney is behaving like an evil corporation. But I'm going to say this. People, again, aren't really, hey, Vader fan. Hey, C-Man. Oh, I am too, C-Man. People, again, though, are forgetting that when it was announced on, I think it was one of the Hollywood rags, Deadline Hollywood, that Carano being informed they didn't want her back didn't go into Disney. It went above Favreau, but it didn't go into Disney. It was Kennedy who did it. All right. Now we've got the Twitter mobsters, the fascist, torch and pitchforks, commies, fascists, whatever you want to call them, equally fits both labels equally fit these people. By the way, going after, making sure that they're really not. That's a good point, C-Man. I'll get to that. Really not saying anything that Disney doesn't approve of, that Disney's not connected, and that Lucasfilm isn't connected to what they're saying. These people are trying to protect their jobs. They know the shitstorm is real. I'm going to say this right now. We don't know what the fuck is going on behind closed doors. We do know there's a civil war going on. A big one. Okay? He's not leaving. Will you stop it? He can't. He's under contract. And now I lost my point. Thanks. There's a civil war going on. You can have people deny it, but now it's obvious with the firing of Gina, and now these attacks on the fans by the ugly stepsisters at Rewriting Ripley, which is obviously a story, a blog that wasn't written by them, but written by somebody who's more than capable, named Michelle Buchanan, who used to work at Lucasfilm. This is all just, it's very interesting to me. And what I think is this. I think the investors are now involved. I think the investors are now like, this shit's gotten old. Fix it. Now, we do have a stories matters issue within Disney itself. Pixar's going a little woke. It's almost like they're all freaking out at once. And I have a feeling that the reason why is because they know it's ending. They know if, and I'm going to say this, the moment Kennedy goes and you start seeing people leave in droves from Lucasfilm, the people that really caused all the problems, you're going to see a subsidence of wokeness. Good morning, Anton. And I really think, though, that the investors are like, enough is enough. Yeah, I am. The Clone Wars 2003, those animated shorts, they put them together as a movie, and I love them. I think they're great. I'm gonna say this: it's coming to Disney Plus. They're desperate. They want fans. They want people to subscribe. The one thing that Doomcock wrote or said was that the they think that the subscribers for Disney Plus have reached a ceiling. And I'll give you a little thing that he said that I find interesting. Before Gina was let go, subscribers were at, or viewers for WandaVision were at like about 5 million. They were down after she was gone to not quite 2 million. And I like both, to be honest, Trayla. I like both. No, and you got to remember George was overseeing both of them, so you really can't sit there and say, "Well, this is George and this isn't." You know. I know a lot of people who are pure EU to the point where they act like fanatics. Don't like Filoni, and I think people like that are as dangerous to the integrity of the franchise as the left in lots of ways, because the EU is there and you can use characters, you can use stories from it, you can fashion different approaches to each thing and fashion different outcomes and go into other things. You don't need to use the whole thing. And the EU had problems. I mean, you guys know I think that. I think the EU could have been better. It was way better than what Disney's done, but it could have been better. I think what they did with it was bullshit. I mean, Kennedy lying about them not having any stories to pick from is just, I don't even, here's the deal. I don't think she's aware of herself. You understand? Either she didn't know or didn't care, lied about it thinking we wouldn't notice. And the audience she was talking to, she thought would never go look for the EU. Okay? It's like, I'm very, very, very watchful of what happens next because it looks to me like they're bringing a lot of EU elements back. That's what Filoni and Favreau want to do. I think they know that the original stuff that they can come up with only goes so far, and that there's tons more out there. I mean, I'll give you an idea. I was talking to Maze today, and I said for a sequel trilogy, you could do this, and you could bring in elements of the EU. You have the scroll going up. It is 35 years after the Battle of Endor. The Empire, after the Empire's remnants either were destroyed or went into the unknown regions, whatever. And it doesn't mention Han and Leia. Doesn't mention it, just mentions or Luke. It just mentions Luke Skywalker is busy rebuilding and restructuring the new Jedi and on Yavin 4. And there you go. So it pans down to a space station above a moon or a planet on the very edge of the unknown region. All of a sudden you see these ships appear, poof, like how they did in Rogue One. And what you do before that is you introduce a character, a Jedi, a young Jedi. And he's out there, part of his coming into his Jedi mastership is to having to go out and experience the very edge of the Republic. This is Jason Solo, or give him whatever name you want, but not Ben. These ships are Grand Admiral Thrawn. A battle ensures. The space station, trade, whatever, is obliterated. The kid disappears. Swipe, always use your wipe to another scene. You see a girl, you see somebody in an outfit, riding a speeder bike. Down a road, you see this house on like a hill with a big ship's hangar and a garage attached, steps going up. She parks, she puts a speeder bike in front, and you see a kid, a young man about 13, 14, 15 years old, with his tablet, her brother. She walks up the steps, walks into the house. Mom, I'm home, whatever. Walks in. You see Leia, and what is Leia doing? She's embroidering a tapestry. And what it is you can bring in elements of Nubian culture. She's doing a tapestry of the Skywalker family, the entire story, for the family. And and she's retired. She didn't have anything to do with any of this. So they talk, and then she asks, well, where's Dad? And Leia says he's down in the garage. He found an old swoop bike. He's trying to repair it. And so this girl, this is Jaina Solo, goes down and sees her dad. And then that evening, they're told what happened. And the shit's about to hit the fan. Because now there's different attacks on different outposts all along the border of the unknown region. And what's really scary is that Luke suddenly realizes there might be a portal into someplace he thought he'd never have to experience again. Mortis. He gets a sense that he can hear a voice, whatever. He wakes up in the middle of the night. And the night before all this happened, and he realizes that someone opened up the gateway to Mortis. All right, how's that? Does that sound like a good idea? I think it'd be great. Fucking hell of a lot better than what we got. So anyway, but you could play with it, add elements of the EU, throw more into it, and you'd actually have a good story. Okay. And honestly, I think when you're looking at the roadmap of what Favreau wanted to do, and he's playing the long game on this, is that it was going to take him quite a few years to get to where they wanted to go. All right, which is completely sidestepping anything that had to do with Kennedy shit. Okay. That's what I think the reason why all this crap is happening. Okay. All right, first off, you got the return of Luke. Pablo has a brain fart. Make sure everybody in God sees what his deliberate attempt at attacking Star Wars theory was. And he gets bitch slapped for it. Then Momita Sengupta is hired. Okay. She doesn't say anything. There's no big, Disney parade for her. It's just a quiet announcement. Then, we're all talking about that. Then it gets quiet. And then Gina gets let go. And then all hell breaks loose. It went from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows for the fans. And the reason why it happened is because, I'm going to tell you this right now, What Doomcock said about sidestepping the sequel trilogy is true. This is why they went and did this. And you got to add this. The High Republic was mocked when it came out. It is getting the shit ratioed out of it. Even today. No one wants it. No one. Well, I mean, it's a total fail. They're not selling any books. They're not. No one wants it. You're right, Bone. But then there's always the way up. All right. And when Doomcock, if you haven't seen the video, he alludes to something he knows about some very powerful people who aren't happy. Okay. And I'm going to come out and say this. They're probably big investors. All right. In fact, I could probably name them right now. All right. They run the biggest investment houses in the world. These guys are fucking serious. And again, with those two people calling in and asking about Gina and then asking about Kennedy, you guys can assume, and it's not a stretch by any imagination, that the billionaires who run BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, yada, 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 aren't happy at all either. All right, and they have hotlines right to Chapek and Iger going, what the fuck? Whatever. And it's really interesting to me that it's going to probably take those guys to get Kennedy out of there. Because they're, hey, you know what? Guys like that have voting shares. All right? They have power. All right? And if they're not happy, Chapek's ass is on the line. It's not Kennedy, it's Chapek. And Chapek don't want to get fired. He doesn't want to go either. He don't want to go out with a thud. So it's going to come down to exactly what Cameron said. Kathy, I tried, but the investor said it's you or me, and your division, your company, you're not producing. And then stuff with Gina, we're getting slammed in PR and in social media. And if she brings up Twitter, it's like, Kathy, look, because look, Bob Chapek can find out very easily how many of the people that were actually trending Fire Gina Carano were fake. Okay? Because I guarantee you, for every real Twitter account that was doing it, there were probably 1,000 that were fake. Okay. Ichibaka, a long time ago, did an audit of Ruin Johnson's Twitter account. Over half of them are fake, are bots. Okay. They do this to make themselves look more popular than they are, which is exactly what we've got going on here. And with the trend, with the Fire Gina Carano trending. And it's very interesting to me that a lot of the fundamentalists just don't understand that Disney probably knows, that Chapek probably knows. And if he knows, guys that really have power know. What, you think they just sit around all day waiting for their marching orders from a Twitter bot? Or from two insecure, batshit crazy Raylos? They know none of this shit's true. They know it. Chris, the woman who runs Warner Media knows it's not true. Okay, she's just, lashing out. And the reason why she's lashing out is because she forced Zack Snyder to fuck the fans over. He didn't want to say it. I listened to what he said. I saw the look on his face. He had absolutely, this has absolutely nothing to do with what I want to talk about. You have to do it. You know, I'm going to tell you this, and Cameron and others are right. These woke old women, and they're in their 60s. I've told you about who they are. They're in my fucking family. I've watched them. I'm not impressed. They wander around attacking anybody and acting like they're the saviors of. I don't really care if they got Wired involved, Kate. All right, this is about what Doomcock said, okay? You know, it's really interesting to me. You know, they don't look. There's a meme where you see someone that looks like, oh, what's her face? She looks like the chick that played Dany from Game of Thrones. She's in blue. And she's being like holding herself up like this, and there's all these brown arms, brown people, you know, going, oh, like this, we need you. Woke white women look at themselves like that. Okay, they look at themselves like that, like they are the saviors of the world. I've seen them. My oldest sister owns that. Okay, I've seen them talk down to adult black men. I've seen them. I know I saw that. I feel bad for him, but the fact that he actually liked TFA, I can't. He's not going to say anything. Alan Dean Foster, Jason at Hunt at Sci-Fi for You tried to get him to talk about it, and he wouldn't talk about it. You know, it's literally it's a white female savior complex, and it's profoundly condescending. It's profoundly racist. And it's really just it's killing film. It's killing storytelling. And it's got to stop. And you know, a lot of, and I think it will. I even think there are women in Hollywood going, "Will you shut up?" You know, I wouldn't be able to tolerate it. I go off. I go off. I go, what the, you know, but you know, if the numbers that Doomcock, what we're told, are accurate, which is Disney feels like their subscribers have plateaued, and that they don't have anything really coming up, that everything that was going to keep building their streaming empire has to be delayed because this Corano mess. The investors are going, you know, it's gonna be like Goodfellas. Fuck you, pay me. Well, our subscribers had plateaued. Fuck you, pay me. All right, that's what this is. I hate to tell you guys, but that's what this is. Everything. And it's really, really going to be interesting. And I'm just loving the fact that these goddamn cockroaches, these human cancer cells, are now hiding behind in their bios. These opinions do not reflect the company. Blah blah blah. Horseshit. Horseshit. Those people make it hard as hell for anybody to work at Lucasfilm if you don't follow these fuckers lock fucking step. Okay? If you don't follow these fuckers lock fucking step. They will make, I mean, you know, Cameron tells a story of a friend. He was going to go and he went to go and he was going to be hired. And then he was told he wasn't woke enough. He wasn't liberal enough. And the guy is a lefty. It's like, you know, it would really be interesting to not have a social media presence. You're just a person who wants to write Star Wars stories. To go in there and then ask and then find out just how do you find out somebody's political views if they don't want to tell you? All right. And really, a Star Wars fan, who wants to work there with this shit going on? The thing about the Pirates and Princesses blog is this. Again, they dredge up the old story. No one wants to take over Lucasfilm because of the shit that Kathy's let happen. Well, fire them. You know? Put them on fucking KP or garbage duty till they're give them such shitty work that they just quit on their own. You don't have to fucking tolerate this shit, you know? And Kate, oh God, you're just such a pain in the ass. What I think is going to happen is that there might not be a one person in charge. It might be Mita Sen Gupta, Michelle Rejwan, and Jon Favreau running creative. And that's perfectly fine with somebody like Feige coming in to look at what's going on. Now, he said he didn't want anything. And I don't know if you guys saw that. The other day, somebody asked him about Star Wars, and he says, I'm not involved with Star Wars. That's Kathy Kennedy. I only I've only got one movie, and I'm only waiting for the next installment of The Mandalorian. Yes, it would be better. And you're right. Okay, I'm sorry I misread that. This is going, like I said, this is getting really interesting. Really interesting. And it's really going to play out big time in the next few months. Again, and I'm going to say this. By Star Wars Celebration, Kennedy may be out. I've predicted that before. Well, so can Star Wars. All I gotta do is cut the cancer out. Okay? And that won't be very difficult to do. In my opinion. And the reason is this. You fire people. They're not doing their jobs. They're not creating a profitable product. What they've created is so bad, the merchandisers don't want to have anything to do with it. So what do? You fire them. You buy out their contracts and say sayonara. All right? Disney's borrowed enough money. I think they could probably afford to do that to a few people. Okay? It's going to be really interesting to me. And if I'm expecting Midnight's Edge to come out with something too now, and more from Clownfish, and I'm keeping my ear to the ground because she doesn't. That's the thing about some of those people in the writers group, like Ireland and Claudia Gray, is they're not really working for Lucasfilm. They're writers that were hired. They only did Star Wars to puff up their resume. So all I got to do is find out, do we owe these two any more money? Send them their checks, make sure they get their residuals for what they did right every week and tell them we no longer need them and what they put together is not canon, is not, we're not pursuing any of these stories. And the stuff that Claudia Gray wrote is being wiped clean. We're redoing everything. I mean, literally from scratch. We're looking hard. And I would do that. I would say we are looking hard at the EU. We're pulling things from that. We're getting talented writers who can shape, okay, who can shape stories with the EU in mind, but with original stuff that they have. That George is very involved, and I would be honest, I talk to him every day. I'd say I talk to him every day. He sees what we're doing because I can't make good Star Wars if he doesn't like it. I can't do this. And ultimately, it's coming down to me and what the people I hired to do this. And I'd make an apology to everybody, to the directors that were fired, to the writers that were kicked to the curb, to the fans that have been maligned and defamed. I am sorry on behalf of everybody who did it and this company's name. I am sorry. These people tarnished us, tarnished the image of this franchise and this company, and it's never going to happen again. That's all I got to do. And be sincere about it. Speak from the heart. Okay? Because people respond to that. People respond to that. And then do it. Do it. And, I would for Star Wars Celebration, I would get, I think, doesn't Anaheim Disney have a big, like, concert complex? I would have a freaking rock concert. I would have, cripe, if Bowie was still alive, and, you get all these great acts. Oh, hell yeah. I would get all the fans together and say, and I would get like Bruno Mars. I love some of his stuff. I would get him. I would get a lot of these people together to put on a great big concert the Friday of Star Wars Celebration, that evening, adults only, and, rock the night away. All right? Rock the night away. And I would have big names in the VIP section. And there would be fans up there mingling with them because I think they all need to meet the people they're responsible to entertain and their fans. All right? I think they need to be able to see people as equals. And I would do that. The reason simply is this. You want to bring the fans together. You want to make people feel uplifted. And what's more uplifting than going to a concert and just rocking your head off and, hanging out with all these people. Synthwave? I don't know. I mean, it's gotta be stuff that people can bang their heads to. So, and I would go rock, I would go punk. I was thinking about all the bands I would have. But wouldn't it be cool? Star Wars Celebration, celebrating the fans with a concert that would fucking blow people's minds. All right? That would blow people's minds. I mean, have Queen come with Adam Lambert. I don't know if I get as brave as Motley Crue, but maybe I get those guys back. But I don't know. I mean, last time I heard Vince Neil, I was like, maybe 6 a.m. though. Nikki and those guys. That would be cool. But God, wouldn't that be awesome? Show Disney this is how you get the fans together and rallied. And then stream it on YouTube. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can have all this stuff going on. And Oh, that would be a great idea too, Kate. And I think they are Judas Priest. Yeah, yeah. Breaking the law. What about Twisted Sister? We're not gonna take it. SJW's heads would explode. There's D in his glam getup, and the guys, and they're going, oh god, that would be funny. Uh, Cinderella, shelter me. But I think it would be a great idea to do something like that. I can't really express how much fun that would be. And I think, oh, I know, Doc. Well, it's too bad. Uh, Eddie's gone. It's Quiet Riot. I mean, without Kevin Dubrow, Def Leppard. Yeah, you could have Joan Jett, Poison. I wouldn't have Guns N' Roses. I mean, as much as I love Slash and Duff, I can't stand Axl. And I don't think you could have Axl and Vince Neil in the same place without a fight going on. They hate each other. And hey, Vince Neil for the knockout. He'd fucking kill him. And it would be kind of fun to watch it. But you could mix. I mean, what a great idea. And what Kate had. Have a party. All right. Open up the cantina, make it a cantina. Like like on Tatooine. Make it Chalmers with, an actual jizz band and stuff, and let people have fun and have it. Oh yeah, I know. Have it YouTube streamed. Get the people to understand we're serious about this. Oh, I know. I know. I mean, Billy Idol singing "Rebel Yell." Think about that. Uh, you get someone to do a cover version of Tom Petty. I won't back down. You know, it would just be. I mean, if Debbie Harry could still do it, have her come on. Uh, it would. I mean, because you kind of want what I would like, and it's too bad. I don't think that with what's going on with John Lydon, I don't think he could do it. His wife is real sick. She's got Alzheimer's. And she was a lot older than him, by the way. She's an older person, and he's taking care of her right now. So there's a good core of things you could do to get people excited, to get people, you know, this because let's put it this way: if you don't appeal to the people with money, Generation X, you're not going to get anybody. You're not going to sell stuff. You're not going to get people to come to the movies. We're the ones that go to the movies over and over and over again, and we do it because we love it. You know, it would be a good idea to appeal to them. If they're like get some grunge bands, I guess, together. Just get a wide variety of music that is really uplifting and unites people. You know, I think it would work. But it would only work if Kennedy's gone, because she would never go for this. Oh my God, I can't imagine. I mean, I think my torture for her would be to force her to listen to Twisted Sister and Cinderella for one day straight, as loud as it could be played. Just because that's how pissed off I am at her. Because she didn't have to do any of this. Yeah, I mean, Weird Al would be funny. Alice in Chains. I'd probably stay away from Coldplay because Coldplay is so fucking pretentious. But you get Bruno Mars. God, it's too bad Prince is gone. Wouldn't he be great? God, that would be so fucking cool. Oh my God. You know, all these guys. It would just be, God, it would be so much fun. And then the next night you'd have a smaller crowd at the cantina. It would be for, what you do is you like have a lottery or a lottery and tickets. And if your number gets called, you get to go to the cantina that night and hang out. And, drink with the aliens and drink with the cosplayers and, maybe a few celebrities will show up. I really think that would really, really be great. And it would be something to bring in everybody. See, this is my event planner coming out. Because, yes, I used to do that in D.C. My job before I worked for the congressman was I was an event planner. In my capacity as a, hey, Abunas. Oh, there he is. There's my guy. Yeah, we're talking about Doomcock's latest, and it's very interesting. I'll give you a rundown. So it looks like the Twitterati are now at Lucasfilm are now putting disclaimers in their Twitter bios, saying these opinions don't reflect the opinions of the company. La la la. Bullshit. Bullshit. We know perfectly well these fucking opinions reflect Lucasfilm because we know from what people have said that Lucasfilm is a cesspool of toxic left-wing bullshit. And that's a fact, okay? Second of all, Doomcock alluded to something I've been talking about ever since Iger or Chapek had to deny there was any problems with Kennedy to the investors at that investors call, that the investors are pissed off. And I'm not talking about people like us. I'm talking about BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, the wolves of Wall Street. And in that case, shit's hitting the fan. These people at Lucasfilm would never, ever have posted on their bios any of these disclaimers if there wasn't a problem. Okay? That's a fact. Now, Doomcock and Pirates and Princesses also said the firing, the loud, obnoxious, stupid announcement that Kennedy superstitiously, whatever, however you say that word, slipped to Deadline Hollywood behind the Bob's backs and Favreau's back, because it didn't go above her. It was her who did it. Screwed up the Mandalorian so bad we might not get a Mandalorian until 2023. Do you think that the investors are happy about this? No. Disney only has The Mandalorian. WandaVision really didn't make that big of an impact. And before the Gina announcement, WandaVision was getting about 5 million views. After, it could barely reach 2 million. The rumor is that Disney subscriptions have plateaued or will plateau. This is bad. And now we've got this story that Doomcock didn't say it out loud, but I will because I know where he's going with it, that the big investors, the people with the power, are like, so, hey, I'm like, Chapek now has every bit of leverage I think he needs. And that article Doomcock talked about, that article today was from Forbes. Yeah, anything can happen right now. The guy that wrote it, actually Jason Hunt at Sci-Fi For You, basically said he tried to get this guy's name is Del Vecchio, last name. And the guy said, I said all I'm going to say, and that's it. Now, I don't know if you guys know about this. I'm talking to Abu right now. But Del Vecchio dropped that article on Forbes and deleted his social media. Poof. He wasn't kicked off social media. He left. Yep. He dropped a grenade and ran. Now, yesterday Jason was trying to link him to George Lucas. Lucas has a lot of shares in Disney, and he could use that to leverage a firing if he had to. Now they've got, but I think, I agree with Cameron, that this was Chapek himself putting this out there because I'm going to tell you, the big investors, they have hotlines right to his office. You know, it's Goodfellas all over again. Fuck you, give me my money. Fuck you, pay me. That's what this is. So yes, they do. Because they can basically send Bob and Bob Iger, it's your heads or hers. And when you look at the article, she is the pink elephant in the room no one's talking about. She is the mismanagement because it's all about Gina's firing. Okay? And it's really, 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 really fascinating to watch this. I'm really like, I gotta tell you guys, the more I think about it, and I made this, and I'm probably wrong because I always am with this, that Kennedy will be out by Star Wars Celebration, or there will be an announcement. I'll give an amendment. There will be an announcement that she's done by October. We were talking about, Maze and I were talking about that it looks like Favreau has a long game, and that that he was looking to reseed the lore and the canon with better stuff, okay, than what they had, and then to sidestep the ST. I was talking about how do you get the fans back, and yeah, he was. I mean, he said when you see the article, the first article's coming out about mismanagement or finances or stuff like that, or something about Lucasfilm, that it's starting. And I saw that and I sent it to him. So it's, wow. I mean, and now we just wait. We wait for the other shoe to drop for Kennedy. And like I said, if you're on Twitter, go look and see what the Twitterati who are still with Lucasfilm are saying on their bios. Because if it says in the bio, the opinions here are not the opinions of the company, there's something up. There's shit about to get real. Here's the deal. If you think the quartering is the only person with Data Racer to find out that they're using bots to trend fire Gina Carano, you don't think that Disney can't do that with all their resources? Yeah, do you think they might have? I think they did. And the reason is this: they can't afford this shit anymore. They are 100 billion in debt. Billion. Okay? They could be more in debt. I don't know. Their parks can't get enough humans there. Their cruise lines are still shut down. Okay? Their movies, I mean, the last one is a joke at the box office. It got beat by Tom and Jerry. Disney's in a world of hurt. And I'm going to say this Gina Carano thing has smeared them all across the board. Here's another thing that and because I don't think Abu Nas has heard this. Last week, Kevin Feige was asked about Star Wars, and he said to somebody, no, that's Kathy Kennedy. I just sit back, I'm paraphrasing, and wait for the next episode of The Mandalorian. That's called stepping away from her. That's called moving away from her. Now, I'm going to say this. He is working on a Star Wars movie. Raise your hands if you think he's happy about all this shit going down with Carano. No, he can't be. Because Star Wars fans are going after every Star Wars property there is right now and ratioing the hell out of it. You know, thousands of little tiny abonnets. That's awesome. That's funny. No, he can't be happy. He's trying to make a feature movie that no one's gonna see, even if it's good. And, okay, I'm laughing right now. Oh my God. You know, and the reason why Rewriting Ripley came out is because the shit's going down. This is why. And I'm gonna say this. If you're the quartering and these people have defamed you to the point where your good name is being smeared, you have to sue them. He just did a video where they got another few videos deleted, blah blah blah. They're trying to go after. We have a lot of car people here that have old school muscle cars. That might have been one, or it could have been a Korean lawnmower. I don't know. Anyway, they're probably going after Ethan Van Sciver because they didn't say who they were going after, and they probably are. If they get Ethan's channel taken down, you bet your ass you're getting sued. Then he has ammo, and they will. I mean, Christ Almighty, they know who they are. And I'll tell you something else. They've got lawyers. Ethan went after blue-haired land whale because she was stalking him all over the place. She left him alone. All right? Remember that? He's got lawyers, and he's got the money to pay for it. All right? The quartering has already been through shit like this with that guy that punched him in the mouth. All right? Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers. I mean, if they feel like if their livelihood is being affected, they can sue the fuck out of these people. Okay. And when it goes to discovery, you're going to see it goes right into former Lucasfilm social media person, Michelle Buckman, that they were offered help, and part of it came from Matt Martin and Pablo. Both Pablo and Matt follow these two idiots. All right. And no amount of bios. Oh, I know they went after Mecca. They would go after her. She's a bigger YouTuber than I am. But I'm gonna say this. Because we're fan channels, I don't think that they can really hurt us as badly as they want to. Because we're not, what we want is no politics in our movies. We don't like seeing their shit, and it doesn't. I mean, God Almighty, smearing an entire fandom and only using the examples of Jeremy Griggs and Jeremy Hambley, and then Ryan and Drunk 3PO. What the fuck? Only using them as examples is bullshit. But see, Abu Nas does not fit their narrative. You don't, brother. I don't either. Mecca doesn't, but now they're going after her. They won't sit there. They won't make a video about her. Because if they did, it's like, what are you doing crawling up on that woman's ass for having an opinion? And they're doing this out of fear. They do this. I mean, when you look at the tweets from that Kate, that chick. By the way, I would ask you and I probably have had words with that woman. Okay, I guarantee you, she's batshit crazy. I mean, a loon. And it's her saying basically that she had to take a week off from Star Wars and she didn't realize how toxic and violent the fans were. Now, is she talking about when Ethan jokingly destroyed one of the many, I think, thousands of Rose Tico? He's the only person that has any Rose Tico figures, by the way. No one bought them. I went to Boscov's 2 years ago, and there was a wall of them. A wall of 3-inch Rose Ticos for $1.99. I almost said fuck it and bought him every one of them. So he would have kindling for whatever, you know. I mean, I was shocked. Not a popular character. It's a goddamn figure. Hell, I posted setting the Admiral Haldo figure that Dave Pensack sent me. And it melted and disappeared. Like the Wicked Witch. I'm not kidding you. I was like, it just disappeared. No, it hasn't been. And, you know, the same thing with the two Ray Hallmark ornaments I had. It's like, these things are like, they're tainted, they're demonic. You know? I mean, I did a video and I have to post it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll send it to Baz Taylor and have him kind of rework it to music of Pablo's book. I had one more of Chuck Wendig's and the handbooks, the Jedi handbook and the Sith handbook. And I already set the Smuggler's handbook on fire because it was just so fucking, it was fucking garbage. And the Imperial handbook on fire. And I did that on video. But I got the Pablo Hidalgo thing going on, including his name disappearing in flames. And what's really weird, I'm Catholic, as you know, the flames all went up in white smoke. So obviously, there's a new leader for Lucasfilm coming. We elected a new pope of Lucasfilm. Oh God, yeah. I mean, I was laughing. Yes, it was. I mean, I know it doesn't matter, but they're look. I talked about this, and then I've got. All right, I'll be on for 10 more minutes, 5 more minutes. Yesterday, I talked about these two girls, Raylos, and I know you guys will understand this. They didn't have any playtime to work with their imaginations as children. So they can't cope in real life right now. They can't distinguish real life from a movie. Okay? And they actually think that Raylo and this SJW shit they want is real. They don't understand it's a movie. And again, the reason why is because it's a generation, they're in their, early 20s, that didn't play outside. They're glued like this to their phones. In fact, the picture I saw, both of them. Both attractive young ladies, by the way. You know, they should be looking for their careers. They should be dating. They should be thinking about having children. They should be far away from this shit. I got time now because I'm not working anymore. And all I got is a dog and a horse and a husband. But they're looking at their phones. They can't cope with reality. When you look at the stuff that this Kate person posted on Twitter, she's very seriously emotionally disturbed. I mean, this girl, I think she would either hurt somebody. Sorry, guys. she'd either hurt somebody or she'd hurt herself. I'm not kidding. You know, I have never seen anybody in the fandom, and I'm talking about Menace and everything else, threaten anybody. Ever. Ever. Even when you're really mad at them, you're just saying, please go away. You know, Disney stores, what's going on? Are they closing them all? If they're closing them all, they're fucked. That's another indication. You know, if they don't, here's the deal. If they can't get rid of Kennedy, yeah, I mean, the, the whole thing is their ideas appear that they can't separate. Ray isn't real. Okay, yeah, I heard that. Over 60 stores, yeah, I heard that. Ray isn't real. Kyle Ron isn't real. You shouldn't get so mad when fans that were fans from the beginning are pissed off at what they did to those characters. And it actually should piss you off too. You know? Well, if they did it this way, they still ultimately are above Lucasfilm. Basically funding movies and projects. And Lucasfilm makes stuff for streaming, for the streaming service. However, the day-to-day operations are run strictly by, yeah, is he a robot? Are strictly run by Lucasfilm and Lucasfilm only. Okay, and then you get somebody like George to run it until someone can step in. And, he could I would bring in an auditor. I mean, anybody who's worked in anywhere knows what an auditor is. The auditor is a person who comes in. You've all seen Office Space. So, what do you do? Tell us what your job is. What do you do all day? And then the auditor says, this person really doesn't do anything all day. Okay? This person tweets all day. We've observed them looking at their phones, not doing their work. Even if they're social media people, they should be working out. They should be talking with the marketing. But in that, I would do that if I was him. And have, the one thing that George did that was a big mistake. Before he sold out to Disney, Rick McCallum just left. If Rick McCallum had been running Lucasfilm, this shit wouldn't be happening. Okay? That's my opinion. Kathleen Kennedy would be a non-entity in any of our lives. But like, Andre at Midnight's Edge said, the moment she's gone, those people have trashed Star Wars have no one to protect them. Okay? No one. Okay? Oh yeah, I would too. I really wish that would have happened. And that is the ultimate thing we have to remember. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was Doomcock, but I also heard it from somebody else that Kennedy circulated an email last year from her right-hand woman, Lin-Wen Brennan, saying, it looks like I, Kathy Kennedy, am going to be leaving within a year or so, soon. And I don't know what's going to happen next, but you got everybody who supported me throughout this will know, yada yada yada. Translated, wherever I go, you'll come with me. So I don't worry too much about Hidalgo, his wife, and any of them. They'll end up going wherever she goes. Oh yeah, I mean I fully wait. I fully expect to wake up, like I'll fall asleep early. I fully expect to wake up to several messages from Maze and other people going, she resigned, she's leaving. Getting up, grabbing a bottle of wine, opening it, and toasting to a whole new era. Then the next day, going to the liquor store, getting a bottle of Rosé Clico, buying, oysters on the half shell with the peppery stuff you put on it because they're really good. Oh my God. And some other fun delectables, and having a fucking celebratory fucking feast, including eating steak. Well, if it comes from like Deadline Hollywood, it's real. And what I would love, and this wouldn't surprise me that they do it, because first off, you gotta remember, Chapek and Kennedy don't know each other. Kennedy doesn't have any connections to him, really. He has no reason to kiss her ass. All right? I do too, Abu. I really do. All right? Okay. So when, Lawrence Fink of BlackRock gets on the phone with Chapek and saying, what the hell is going on at Lucasfilm? Hey, Takari, and why the did you allow this shit to happen with Gina? We're getting killed. And if you don't do something about this and do it soon, you're gone. We will call an emergency vote of the shareholders, which they can do. All right. BlackRock is the biggest investor at Disney. Okay. All right. Lawrence Fink is probably, I'm going to say this right now. If you think Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos are the most powerful men in the world, no, they're not. You know who is? It's guys like Lawrence Fink. And the reason why is because they move billions and billions and billions around. I guarantee you, those billions some of it belongs to Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and that jackass Bill Gates. Okay? So when he calls and says, I am sick of this, I don't want to hear this shit anymore, if you guys can't get a hold of this and get her out of there and clean up that mess, your head, Mr. Chapek, is on the chopping block. I will call an emergency meeting. And the Yaya sisterhood is two girls. I'm not afraid of them. I think a lot of people now, they're going after Ethan, but what they don't understand is they're going to pay for it. They're going to pay for it and having to pay for damages and lawyers' fees and court fees, because he is going to take them to court and he will crush them. He can prove they hurt his livelihood. Okay? And I think that's some of the things that are keeping people back from opening up a lawsuit. And of course, they're running around acting like victims, deleting Twitter accounts and deleting tweets and all the rest of that shit. But Data Racer has it all. So it's like, as Michelle Malkin says, Twitter is forever. Okay. But here's the deal. This is how I don't even understand what that means, Dakari. This is how the shit gets done, is when the investors start going, and I don't mean you and me, I mean the big guys. And, you know, as Cameron said, Chapek can go. It was either you or me, Kathy, and I'm sorry. You know, then either Chapek or Iger can go in and wipe the whole thing clean. Give Hidalgo and everybody else, you have two choices. You can leave before your contracts are up, and, you know, we'll give you a good check out the door, or we will end your contract, and then you could say where they violated their contracts, because if you're going to do this, you have to know what they did. And I'm going to tell you something else, and then I am going to have to leave. Never underestimate your enemy. Not for a minute. Don't overestimate them, which I think Jeremy at the quartering is doing right now. Okay, they're not that smart. They got lucky. Okay, but they're not going to deplatform Van Sciver, and if they do, they're going to wish they'd never been born by the time he gets done with them. You know, and instead of going on YouTube, tell them straight to their faces, if you don't stop, I'm going to sue you. You're going, you know. I think, to be honest, that Drunk 3PO has a case for defamation. I think Jeremy Griggs does. I think Hambly does. I think Ryan Cannell does. I think everybody in that video has. Okay? I feel like I have a case for defamation just because I wasn't included. You know, anybody who wasn't included because we don't fit the narrative. You know, they want, you know, they actually, you know, and again, and I really am going to let you go. If we know they're bots with what little we have as way of resources, you bet your sweet ass that Chapek knows. You know, and because he is the head of Disney, he can go looking through it. Well, it's, you know, this is war, and it's not the kind of war that I like fighting. But you never get in your enemy's way when they're making a mistake. Mistake number one, attacking Star Wars Theory when he posted his reaction video. But Pablo's made, he's done this over and over and over again. So that cry bully bullshit that he pulls, it doesn't shock me. That was mistake number one for the last straw. Mistake number two, getting pissed off that we were mocking the Stoned Republic and basically calling it out for being the shitty thing that it is. Second of all, firing Gina. That was the biggest one. Because it all leads up to now where we are now, with Twitter accounts, bios saying this account does not reflect the opinions of the company, la la la. I want to say this, bullshit, because we all know from what people have said in Hollywood that it's well known that Lucasfilm is a goddamn cesspool. And now, I gotta go. I've been on here for almost an hour and a half. My husband's about ready to come home, and I gotta take the dog out to play with him one more time. He's got a ball cannon. You put the ball on top, you pull it down, pull the trigger, it goes about 50 feet. Tire him out like that, and that's a good thing because he drives us nuts. Anyway, all right, I gotta go. I love you all. It's great having you around. Abunas, you're the best. Love you too, brother. No. There, metal. And Maze, everybody, If anything else happens today, I'll come back and do another live stream. But I am telling you, the moment it comes over and I'm gonna be dragged out of bed, and I'm gonna probably go live in my PJs like this, you know. But the next day is the day I'm gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'll probably, that's is the day I'm gonna celebrate. Oh, no. I've done actually coffee chats with Stephen Walton where I was in my pajamas. And it was pretty funny because my hair's like all over the place. No makeup. Drinking coffee. Anyway, catch y'all later. Be good. Love you all. Bye.